What's up, guys? My name is Sebastian Stratton. I hope you guys are having a great day and will continue having one. This is my Infiniti Q60 and I have had it for about 2 years. I have modified it quite a bit. There is about $20,000 in parts on this car. As you may not be able to see it, I did do it pretty sleekly. I'm gonna go over what I would have done if I could do it over and what I prefer, or what I think you should do if you bought a Lux like myself, or even a Red Sport, and you could kind of divvy it up the way you should. I do want to mention how freaking beautiful it is right now. It makes the Q look great. So the first year I had it, it was mostly stock. I didn't do a whole lot. I was okay with the power. Before that, I had a G35, so this is my first boosted car. I had a lot to learn, and I did have a lot to learn. What I did was I went AMS intakes, AMS lower downpipes, MBRP CATBACK, and I went with a MISHIMOTO heat exchanger. That's honestly a really great start. If I could do it over again, I would get the MISHIMOTO heat exchanger, or I do the BMS heat exchanger. Either of them are great options. As for intakes, I wouldn't do AMS. Not that they're anything bad. They're just really small, really tiny. They don't do a whole lot. They're meant for the stock car. That's why they're not that great performing wise on a tune. But that's why we have Boosted 6. Boosted 6 comes in, and there you go. For the same price, you get 3 inches, and it does require a tune, but you're gonna get a heck of a lot more power out of them. Unless you are genuinely emissions restricted, I really would recommend getting a full downpipe, or at least a full catted downpipe. The lower downpipe is just useless. I mean, unless you're gonna be able to find one for a couple $100, spending $500 on that thing when eventually you're gonna have to do full downpipes anyway, it's just stupid. I wouldn't do it again whatsoever. I have to buy full downpipes. It's gonna cost me $800, and I already spent $500 on the lower downpipe. Best I'm gonna be able to sell those lower downpipes for are $200, and unfortunately there is not a whole lot of these guys, so trying to find a buyer is even harder. I do have the MBRP exhaust that I put on at the same time as I did the downpipes. It did give me quite a bit more power. Everything combined, it definitely opened up the car to a completely different event, but we'll get to that. I did do the 3-inch MBRP exhaust. That is one of the cheaper options you can do. There is more expensive options, there is cheaper options, but this is the middle ground and gives you the most power, and it's a true dual, and you don't have to pay for a customized catback. I would keep this if I was going to daily the car. I would definitely run with the MBRP exhaust. Honestly, I would also consider Fast Intentions. Fast Intentions is a 2.5 inch, but in my opinion, it does sound better than the MBRP. The MBRP is definitely louder, but the Fast Intentions definitely has more of a true sports car tone, while this is just feels like, I don't know, it's straight piped. I do plan to do dumps, hopefully this year, maybe next year. I'm gonna do full downpipes, dumps, and then I'll probably do the 3-inch to the bumper, or long nose, I guess you could say, cold air intakes, and go that route. Kind of maximize what I can do without upgrading the turbos. At the same time, I'll do the low pressure fuel pump. But as for a starting, if you would ask the question, what would you do if you were to daily this car? Obviously, you guys now know that I do park this car. But if I were to daily this car again, I would do full downpipes, catted or not. Do the MBRP or Fast Intentions exhaust with the Boosted 6 intakes with a SonicTuned. If you go SonicTuned, that is the most reliable tune. I won't get into that. There's so many videos about it. But SonicTuned is technically our most reliable ECUTEK tuner. You run those 4 things and you're gonna be solid. The tires that come with it are kind of trash, but you're gonna have a whole lot of fun as a daily driver for that. And I actually drove around like that for a year, and it was super fun. In fact, most of the content that I have is when this car was just the downpipes and tune. Later on, I did get wheels, tires, brakes, and all those goodies. What I would do if I could go back in time is I would probably stick with my own setup. But if you were to daily this car, hell no to this setup. This setup sucks for dailying it. I've actually dailied it the last 2-3 weeks because my 4Runner is being worked on, and oh my lord, it is tough. I'm on 20-inch wheels on 285 tires. It's stiff. I also am on the max setting on my BC Racing coilovers. I have the full SPC suspension on its stiffest setting as well. So it is a rough ride. What I would do if I was gonna daily it, I'd do exactly what my buddy did. He has a Red Sport. He got the RSR Super Downs, put them on his stock shocks, got some nice wheels. I think he paid about $1,000 for them. They're on Fitment Industries. If I can find them, I'll post a photo. These wheels are way too expensive. I don't recommend them. I mean, I love the wheels. I love the way they look, but they're stupid expensive. If I think about it, I'm gonna hit a pothole one of these days, or I'm gonna curb my wheel one of these days, and I'm gonna be out $650. So if I were you, if I were to recommend anyone else doing this, I would get a cheaper set of wheels. I would never do this again. The stock Lux brakes on this car kind of suck balls, I'm not gonna lie, and you'll probably seize the caliper under some high speed racing. So I would recommend upgrading to the Z1 kit, or at least getting the drilled and slotted rotors for that brake kit, the Lux brake kit. I don't have it anymore, but if you can get upgraded pads for it, great. If not, running the stock ones are going to be a little rough in the high horsepower categories, but if you're sticking around the 450, I think you'll be all right with the brake pads that you have. Besides that, if I were going to daily, I'd leave it there. That's perfect. This car gets expensive and becomes a bitch to maintain after you get a little too much power, or even just start racing it like I do. Every time I drive this car, I am hauling ass, and it's braking constantly. I just replaced the rack in it. But you know, that's what you get when you race. It doesn't matter what kind of car you have. If you're on the track, if you're racing drag strip all the time, you're going to put wear and tear on the suspension. Whether it's brand new or not, it's going to break. Overall, what would I recommend if I were to restart? I would recommend doing things cheaper. Don't do the AMS performance stuff. Oh my lord, it's overpriced. It's good stuff, don't get me wrong. I have a lot of it on my car. It's good stuff. My buddy has a lot of the AMS stuff and is tuned by AMS on his car, but it's overpriced. You can find a lot better stuff, or just equivalent for cheaper, if not just a little bit more, and you're getting 3 times better product. Boosted 6 is a great place to look into. Z1 Motorsports as well. There is places that you'll get the good stuff. There's places that you'll get the bad stuff. People specialize in certain things. Boosted 6, they're known for their cold air intakes right now. Z1 Motorsports, you could probably get by with their exhaust and their downpipes and save a big chunk in just buying a name brand exhaust, or whatever the case. I don't know how much their exhaust is, but I imagine it's cheaper than most of them. And then as for tune, I wouldn't cheap out on the tune. There's no really way to cheap out on the tune. I would recommend getting street tuned, which means that your tuner is going to send you an ECUTEK dongle, and you're going to tune via a computer or via your phone, and you're kind of going to race your own car against the time for your tuner to tune it, instead of going on a dyno. That's the easiest way to describe it. Once you do that, your car is going to be super dialed in. You're going to love this thing, and this $30,000 per depreciating asset will put a smile on your face. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much all I have. I haven't done much since the last time I guess we have talked. It's honestly been sitting, and I've been daily driving it a little bit. I'm working on the 4Runner right now that I just bought, so I can have a reliable daily driver once I start to really mess with this thing. But once the 4Runner is done, that's probably when I will go ahead and do the dumps and the downpipes and all that fun. But I literally just drove it to go over here, so it's probably still pretty cold. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a cold start. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll continue having one.
Don't, okay, let me finish. I gotta prove it. Prove what? I'm not a mistake. Holding me down with the charge. Early in the morning, laid up at night.